The first segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News is brought to you by Flow.
Tonight, the MP for Grosley has announced a 5-point plan to strengthen disaster resilience in his constituency amid a government-led recovery effort in the aftermath of a flash flood in the north of the island. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre teams up with the head of NEMO to announce a damage assessment report following the November 6th weather-triggered disaster. And a corporate citizen has joined the push to increase access to funding for micro, small, and medium enterprises.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Daniela Edwin.
Good evening. It is Tuesday, November 15th, 2022. I am Daniela Edwin. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We are on Flow Channel 117, Kiss FM, the Caribbean Hot FM mobile app, and the Caribbean Hot 7 TV Facebook page. Not forgetting those of you using the Hot 7 plug and play antenna, thank you for joining us. We begin tonight's broadcast with news that the MP for Grosley, Kenson Casimir, has announced 5 priority initiatives, which he says will be activated as soon as possible to provide relief for constituents who are having a tough time recovering from the damage caused by the November 6th flood in the north of the island. Preliminary estimates indicate that the losses have amounted to millions. Kerm Nelson tells us more on that story.
The announcement of the recovery initiatives came on Tuesday during a press brief on relief efforts for the flood victims called by the Office of the Prime Minister. There, Kenson Casimir highlighted the urgency of the situation, noting that the measures will allow residents to become more proactive in dealing with such disasters. Among the initiatives was the establishment of a more robust community disaster response plan that includes recruitment of individuals who will be responsible for awareness and alerting residents in cases of disaster. The plan also includes the setup of a database of resource contacts who can be called upon to assist in cases of emergency.
Community disaster response teams have been in existence and trained by NEMO in times past. I think it is important that persons in those flood-prone and vulnerable areas be equipped with training in first aid, in the initial response, and I think going forward, this will pay huge dividends when these disasters occur. 2, establishment of a database of persons in those disaster areas to provide weather news blasts as often as possible. We know that in 2022 and beyond, a number of persons have lost interest in watching news. And so it's important for me as the MP to have a database of contact information to provide those updates as soon as they become available.
Casimir also stressed that efforts are afoot to engage the Insurance Council in an attempt to initiate an education drive for home coverage, as well as a possible reduction in the premium rates for flood coverage.
I think what we saw in areas such as Asso Canal, Rivière-Mita, Monchy, juxtapose that to my interventions and visit to places like Bonte with persons who had insurance. The feeling within those families were chalk and cheese. Those who had insurance were smiling, those without insurance were crying. And so education and perhaps more conversation needs to be undertaken.
Casimir also committed to intensify lobbying for infrastructural interventions from government for people in flood-prone areas. This would include the installation of gabion baskets and the silting of rivers close to settlements. While Casimir stressed his commitment to the resilience drive in the community, he called for an equal level of personal responsibility if it is to be successful.
My team has put together a Grosley Friday night telephone event to bring in as much resources from St. Lucia, the region, and of course the world to aid in the recovery efforts for those in need. As the Prime Minister said, the interventions, the paperwork, the red tape is something my people cannot continue to bear patience with. And so as parliamentary rep, whatever we can do as a community to bring in corporate St. Lucia will definitely be undertaken.
Meanwhile, the minister took the opportunity to publicly express gratitude to his cabinet colleagues, the Red Cross and other volunteers who assisted residents in the immediate aftermath of the storm.
Their support was timely. I also want to thank NEMO for their strategic interventions throughout the constituency. Volunteer St. Lucia who helped in the cleanup, Corporate St. Lucia who has shown their support. WASCO, special mention to Zilta George Leslie, to ensure that water was restored as soon as the requests were made. I also want to thank the Red Cross and the Codeco. Thank you so much.
Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Kareem Nelson.
The National Emergency Management Organization's initial assessment of the damages caused by a severe weather system which affected the island on November 6th is valued at over $1 million. The disclosure was made by the acting director, Maria Medard, at a press briefing on Monday, where the respective agencies detailed the state's remedial response to the adverse weather system. Present at the media event was Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, who chided the Caribbean Development Bank for lacking urgency with the approval of a U.S. $5 million relief loan.
The floods are going to be coming again, and they may be worse than what happened on Sunday. That is the reality that we face.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre on Tuesday issued a scathing warning that climate change is in fact real, emphasizing that the island needs to improve its mitigation and adaptation measures. However, he highlighted that in the interim, the state needs to acquire the requisite financing to aid recovery efforts currently underway. Acting Director of NEMO, Maria Medard, disclosed that preliminary assessments indicate that over $1 million in damages were incurred due to the upper-level trough system. That figure is expected to triple by the conclusion of the more comprehensive reports.
So far, based on the assessments that we have made as of 12 November, $1,813.45 in damages. Again, that's initial. By the end of probably next week, we will have a better picture of the damages. And note again, I'm saying damages and not recovery costs because we know there's inflation and so on. So that would probably triple in terms of recovering. The education sector, we had one school that suffered major damage, and that is the Dame Paulette Louise School. The damage is estimated at $780. This also affected the students because you had students on the 780,000, my apology. The infrastructural sector, we looked at initial again damages, $854,180.
While lamenting over the undesirable conditions that households are to endure while the island recovers, Prime Minister Pierre urged the Central Development Bank to hasten the finalization of a U.S. $5 million loan that will be allocated to fund relief measures.
We have applied for a loan from the Caribbean Development Bank of $5 million US, which we hope we will get. And there is also a grant of $300,000 US. The grant, we have to apply for that grant. There were some issues, whether it was a level 1 or level 2. I think these issues have been rectified. So we should be able to get these funds in as soon as possible. But again, we have to deal with the bureaucracy of the bank and all the documents and all that. And I always say, and I make no bones about it, why are you getting all that paperwork done? People are suffering. We have to do all that paperwork, and people are suffering. I think that our technocrats must understand that while they're asking for all these papers and people, real people are suffering.
The government indicated that plans are afoot to secure a grant for the flood-hit Dame Paulette Louisy Primary School to get students back to school. Prime Minister Pierre also spoke of plans to access a grant to facilitate the replacement of household appliances damaged or lost during the flood. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Kareem Nelson.
250 entrepreneurs in the OECS are currently undergoing the COTS Ready Cash Small Business Loans Broadening Horizons training and workshop series. The training, which commenced in September, will expose the entrepreneurs to resources, knowledge and network that they require to succeed, and in so doing create opportunities for business, community and economic growth. According to brand manager Bobette Bolton, the reason for such undertaking is to fulfill the company's corporate social responsibility through initiatives focused on socially and economically impacting the communities in which it operates. Jasmine Duncan provides the details.
On Tuesday, November 15th, COTS Ready Cash launched the official commencement of its Small Business Loans Broadening Horizon training and workshop series that will empower approximately 250 entrepreneurs in the OECS. The workshop features virtual sessions with industry professionals who will share experiences and lessons on various topics. According to brand manager Bobette Bolton, the workshop is one of the group's key corporate social responsibility initiatives through building the capacity of the small business sector.
We are launching the COTS Ready Cash Small Business Loans Broadening Horizons training and workshop series. So it's basically a series where we encourage small business persons to get the education that they need, the information, basically to get the network and the visibility that they need to grow their business. So right now we have on display two of our participants in the program. We have Grasserin and we have Healthy Nuts, and basically that is what we offer, opportunities for persons to showcase their products, display their products, sell their products, and tell persons more about their products. Also, it's a 12-week program. It runs from September until January. Right? We started in September with registration, and then after registration we went right into classes. So the classes are completely online. We also have a webinar series that we do where we invite persons to come in and just join in the webinar.
Bolton shares the company's rationale for embarking on such an ambitious project.
As a part of our CSR program through Unicomo, Ready Cash Small Business Loan decided that we were going to embark on this program because we want to see the growth and the development of the small business sector in the OECS. The challenge was to do the program only in St. Lucia, but we decided that we are being given the resources to expand our wings and do it in the entire OECS. So we decided to go ahead and open registration to the entire OECS, and 250 small business owners across the OECS responded. And we were very excited that so many persons came on board, and what's more, we were very excited that we were able to facilitate through our facilitators.
In the end, entrepreneurs will have the opportunity to access resources and investment funding to achieving their mandate. According to Bolton, the end goal is to equip the next generation of entrepreneurs and business owners with the requisite tools to thrive in their respective industries.
At the end of the program, persons will be certified in entrepreneurship, and also they will be given the opportunity to present their products, present their business. They'll be given the opportunity to present their concept for us to invest as investors into their business. So we're really encouraging that, and we're really encouraging the growth and the development of the small business sector in the OECS.
Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Jasmine Duncan.
Still to come in the first segment of the news, the POV. The POV provides you, our valued viewers and listeners, an opportunity to express your opinion on trending issues in news and current affairs only from your point of view.
What do you do to cope with the high food prices?
I'm trying to use more local stuff as possible, things I grow, things I could get in the market because the price is so high in the supermarkets.
Eat what you grow, and if you eat what you grow, then it brings down the prices of what you pay for, but it also brings money into the country.
It's more of a sense where you buy local, so you go to Helen's Daughters every weekend and you buy your local produce there. You go to the farmer's market, you buy your local produce there, or you plant your own.
I am doing anything I can do. Could be selling sweets to make $1, and that's all we have to do.
If St. Lucians would resort to trying to grow their own, I think it will go a long way in kind of. We don't solve the problem at least, but it will go away in alleviating the problems, especially the food prices that we have in St. Lucia today.
You're watching the Hot 7 TV nightly news. Still to come, the island's agriculture minister denies claims that the St. Lucia Labour Party administration has caused the demise of the already fragile banana industry. And Sir Arthur Lewis Community College launches its JUMP project. Stay tuned, we'll have the details of these stories and more when we come back.
The first segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News was brought to you by Flow.